Hey everybody, welcome to Javier in the Air. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. For those of you who have never seen my show, welcome. I think you're going to like it. So this is my little corner of the internet. For those of you who are new, this encompasses a little bit of everything. First part of the show is usually about businesses, things you're passionate about, and or other sections such as me walking around the neighborhood picking up trash, or a section I like to call Healthy After 50 for those of us that are over 50 years old, and how to try to either stay healthy or get back into being healthy. The second part is usually called Spirit Time or some other extra special thing like that. Last week was about the Riesling tasting, and this week is about the soft opening of a local brewery that just opened up kind of down the street in Leander, about 10 minutes away from where I'm sitting right now in Cedar Park. And a fantastic place, and we'll go more into that section of the show. So the first part of the show, I like to do Trash in the Hood. Again, for those of you that are new, this is week 48. So 48 weeks now that I've been wandering around the neighborhood, picking up trash as I go. And then what I like to do is show off all the garbage that people have a tendency to leave, drop, throw out their window, or just disregard nature altogether. So I don't show anybody else. I don't like show faces or anything like that. I don't show street numbers. I do put on Nextdoor, I do put the streets that I walk on, but I don't do pictures of anybody's house or anything like that. I'm not here to super shame people. I'm here to just overall shame people in general as to what they should be doing for their neighborhood. It's nice to go and say, yeah, I pick up trash at the beaches, or I pick up trash at the parks, or that sort of thing. That's good. You should keep that up. But people have a tendency to forget about their neighborhood. And if you walk around your neighborhood, you will see that there's plenty of trash that can happen. So this week, unfortunately, due to the horrible weather conditions that have been out there, it's been either too late for me to go out, or it's been too hot for me to go out. And now usually the heat doesn't bother me as such. I do always bring water with me, and I do always make sure I stay hydrated. But this week has been just brutal, or this past week I should say. Real feels upwards of 120. So I think at one day was even 124, but I don't know if that was well documented or not. So I managed to get out yesterday morning on my normal Java walk to Mojo Coffee Shop. And so I do have something. So here is my one day of Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, week 48. Hey everybody, welcome to Trash in the Hood, week 48. So this was my Saturday morning walk. I call it day 6 because it's the 6th day of the week for me. And usually myself and a couple of others will get up. Lately we've been getting up extra early to go from my house out to down the street to Black Cherry to Red Bay to Loretta Wood, across Hatch to Little Elm Trail, up Little Elm Trail, right there by the Valero, and then beside the Valero is a Mojo Coffee Shop. So as you see there, we got about 19 cigarette butts, a cigarette box, 2 vape pens, a couple of cans of beer, water bottles, a magazine, looks like someone dropped from the mailbox, bunch of papers and tissues and bits of metal and plastic and nuts and bolts and all sorts of craziness that to containers, all sorts of stuff that you see normally thrown out of people's cars. This is not coming from people's trash cans. This is coming from people actively throwing it out of their car, which is unfortunate, but there you go. Okay, so there you have it. My one day in the hood picking up trash, and it was a normal walk for me, one that I do every Saturday, almost every Saturday. And so you notice that there was a lot, not as bad as it has been in the past, not as great as some of the light days that I've been on the Java walk, but it's there, and probably always going to have trash of some sort on there. Like I said, we do go across, like I've said before, we do go across some major streets. This Java walk that I do doesn't hit the big streets as much, but they are like little side streets that you can take that leads you to another big street. For example, Loretta Wood cuts across Hatch going to Little Elm Trail, and Little Elm Trail is a big-ish road. Hatch is a big road. They both go up to 620, which is a really big road. So there's a lot of maintenance and construction and people that cut across these streets to get to other streets that are, um, for one of a better word, throwing trash out their window. So some of these are young adults probably that are throwing some liquor bottles out there and that sort of thing. But a lot of it is also cigarette butts. So which was a surprise to me 48 weeks ago. I didn't realize that there was one as many smokers in my neighborhood as there are, and two, that people are still throwing cigarette butts out their windows. So and from the streets that I travel, I know they're not just standing there having a conversation, smoking a cigarette. They are actually throwing them, more than likely throwing them out their window, if not sitting there in their car and then flicking it out the window that way. Okay, so I've gotten some great feedback on my Healthy After 50. For those of you who are coming into this for the first time, I am over 50, and a lot of people I know are over 50. So we try to better ourselves health-wise, and one of the things that we try to do is things here and there that will keep us healthy. So I started this section so that we can my fellow over 50ers can get a little bit of knowledge to take with them to try to increase or improve their health after 50. So those of you that are very rigorous and do a lot of strenuous activity, a lot of exercise, a lot of paddle boarding, a lot of this, that, and the other, this is probably not for you. But if you know somebody that is over 50, your parents or your older siblings or anything like that that would like to start out that haven't really done much, this may be the area that you go. So there is, I did a section a couple of months ago talking about mental health, but I had some people ask me some questions about that, so let me go ahead and do a summarize again of what I did there on this section, so that way they don't have to go through the archives. So here is Healthy After 50. Dark Frog Social Media presents Healthy After 50. Hey everybody, welcome to Healthy After 50. So, for those of you who have not watched the show before, this is a section where I talk about things that can help you be healthy or healthier when you're over 50. So if you're like me and you're over 50 and you live alone, then sometimes you have to always worry, or sometimes you have to worry about circumstances that may happen when you do live alone. What happens if I, fall down the stairs? What happens if I do this? What happens if I, have an attack or something like that? What to do? So one of the things that you can do that will also help you stay sharp is to create a list of things that you want to make sure you have in your house. First aid kit, list of emergency numbers, your phone always charged. So if you like to let your phone run out of battery charge and it sits there dead for a while, don't. You need to make sure your phone is fully charged and you know where it is, so that if something were to happen, you can get to it. For those of you who still have landlines, yes, landlines, know where that is and where your phone is, that you can get to it, so in case you need help. So those things, along with keeping your mind sharp, is really important as you get older. So one of the things that I know I like to do is do a jigsaw puzzle. I also like to do crossword puzzles, the ones that come out either weekly or daily. Now, you don't have to do those necessarily online, and in fact, it might even help you out to do them with pencil and paper. Um, Read a book. I have a lot of books here that I've read many times, but I'd like to read again and again, and I will be reading some more of those as the weeks go on, especially during this extreme heat where you can't do much outside. Um, if you have neighbors that are friends, try to play games with them. Card games, dominoes, board games. See what y'all have in common and see if you'd like to play that. If not, you can always go on to meetup.com, where you have to create an account, but you don't have to pay anything. So be aware of that as well. It's a free thing. You just have to create an account, which is still not necessarily free, but there you go. And you will be able to um, find local people that get together and do some of the things you might like. But it's important for everyone to try to keep their mind as sharp as possible. If you have health issues in your family when it comes to mental fitness, Alzheimer's is not necessarily mental, but it can be. Parkinson's, no, Alzheimer's definitely is mental. Parkinson's is more along the lines of physicality, but it can also start affecting one's mind, and any number of things like that. So you have to try to do what you can to minimize that. And one of the things that you do is to keep your mind active and sharp. Read a poem that you like to read, that you've always liked, and then try to say it out loud. And if you really have guts, go to an open mic night and say that poem out loud. I guarantee you there will be at least 2 or 3 people that will respect you for that. You don't have to do it because people are going to love it, but you want to do that to keep yourself mentally active. Take up gardening. There's a little bit of physical along with the mental of what am I supposed to plant this year? How am I supposed to plant it? What are the ingredients that I need to do? Oh my God, I killed it. What do I do now? Those type of things that I do a lot with when it comes to gardening. So try to maintain your mental acuity that you had when you were working. If you're retired now, try to make sure you do something a little bit mentally active every day on top of everything else that you do. Set aside a scheduled time that you can do that. You're like, okay, every morning I get up at 9 and I have my coffee and or breakfast, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to do a little bit of a crossword puzzle, or I'm going to do Sudoku, or I'm going to read a couple of chapters. I want to get a couple of chapters further in my book. Those types of things, which seem small overall, but in the grand scheme of things, are going to help you out. So staying mentally active is definitely important. Try to do things outside of a computer, or if you're really bad at computer, learn how to work a computer. That's going to be quite a mental activity as well. So do those types of things to make sure that you stay active mentally throughout the day. And like anything else, you have to do this probably the rest of your life, but it's going to be good gains, and you're going to remember things that are important to you, and that's what it's all about. So stay active, stay mentally active. Thanks a lot, everyone. Hey, everybody, just staying hydrated, which I still recommend everybody does, even if you're not in the extreme heat area like I am in. And even if you're inside, yes, just because you're inside doesn't mean you're not going to get dehydrated. I know there's been times where I've gone all day without drinking water because I've been inside doing stuff, and I'm like, it's not the same. And then at night I pay for it. So stay hydrated as much as you can. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. In fact, all this is a little H2O. That's all it is. You don't have to do anything else. In fact, if you want to stay hydrated, the best thing to do is to drink water. Nothing else. You can drink other stuff. I drink other stuff. So I'm not saying that you should only drink water. What I'm saying is you should predominantly drink water. Okay, so on that hydrated note, we're going to go into our Zen moment for the week. And then we're going to finish up with our last section, which is the special Spirit Times event of the soft opening of Fifth Element Brewing out of Leander. So here's our Zen moment. Fire, fire, burning bright, sending sparks into the night. How without shadow I would not know thee. How without pain I would not bleed thee. How I settle down to watch you burn. Fire embers blow upon the breeze. How you burn without ease. How you burn things into my mind. How you take up lots of time. Okay, there you have our Zen moment. So some people have asked me what or where do I get the ideas for my Zen moment. So a lot of times it just comes to me during the week that I'd like to see this, and then I get a lot of stock footage from the editing software that I use. Sometimes I get the idea last minute, right before I do it. Sometimes I get the idea well in advance, which is where sometimes I'm able to get poems right away. Sometimes it takes a while to write one, and then I fit it to the Zen moment. So a lot of different things like that. So now, without further ado, we're going to get to our special section, or actually to our spirit time with the special event for our spirit time, which was I had the opportunity to go out on a soft opening for Fifth Element Brewing, which is out of Leander. I came across them a couple of years ago and have been following them religiously to see how they were going to do. Any mom and pop organizations I'd love to be a part of or be a fan of that are near me so that I can go and see them. So this was Fifth Element Brewing, and they have some fantastic beers out there. I'm going to show you a little video of me getting there, and then I'm going to have some pictures and talk a little bit about their beers, and then I will have their link flashed on the end of the show. It's not a clickable link, I still don't know how to do that, but it is where you can do a search in Google for them and you can find them quite readily. They're actually open today. I believe their window right now of being open is Thursday through Sunday, and then they're doing their bottling and all that sort of thing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They're brewing all the stuff that brewmasters do and a company that is a brewery does. So without further ado, here is the soft opening of Fifth Element Brewing. Hey boy, what you thinking? It's time to go drinking, and we don't want to go too far. So let's drink at the local bar. Out here at Fifth Element Brewing, this is their soft opening. So I got an opportunity to come out here, so let's check it out. Okay, so one of the first things I did when I went out to Fifth Element Brewing was not only meet Mike, the owner, but I did get to go in the back, and he got to give me a little tour of the brewing facility. So now this is a very small house that has been converted, and they did a great job on the conversion. So the back part has the distillery brewing process and equipment, and then they turned the rest of the house basically into a brew house. And so it's a one-story house, part of Old Town Leander. You see a shot there of everybody who was either getting ready to drink or was already drinking, and they were partaking in the festivities and the libations that Fifth Element was doling out. So they did have a power outage due to probably to a brownout, but then it came back on and everything was hunky-dory. So I did get a fantastic chance to check it. I wanted to show you some of the, I guess, structure of the house itself. You can see the beams and everything there, which is pretty cool. And then, like I said, they opened it up and it's an open spot with the taps being at the front, which is Not a bad thing at all. I like to actually hit the taps as soon as I come in, so I think it's fantastic that you walk right in, they say hello, you grab a beer, and you're on your way to sit down outside or inside. Inside for this week because of the heat. Here's just a menu of some of the beers that they have. I did manage to get 3 with the sampling of 4. So I started off with King Bob, which was really good beer. Then I followed it up with the Scottish Phoenix. I actually went with the small pour on that one because I was driving home by myself. Shannon did give me a sampling of the Pickle Vice, and then I also had some of the Winston's Ale, which was a brown ale. Really good. There's Mike you see on the right, and there's some of the crew behind the gentleman with the cowboy hat. And you can see again the cross beams. They also have a little fridge for non-alcoholic beer, or actually non-alcoholic drinks, for those of you who still want to come out and help out by just being there but don't like to drink beer. So as I was leaving, I realized that I didn't get all the shots of the outside. So this was a cool little painting that they have out there of 2 beer mugs hitting each other. So if you have an opportunity this week or any other, because they are open now, head on out to Fifth Element Brewing. Say hi to Mike and Shannon and Jay and can't remember the other gentleman. They're pouring beers for you, fantastic beers. They do have some not on the menu, so if you have an opportunity, ask them about it. Great group out there. I appreciate you letting me partake in one of your opening days, and I'm sure I will be out there again. Thanks a lot. Once again, Fifth Element Brewing in Leander, Texas. Okay, everyone, that is our show. We are actually well under time, which I'm extremely happy about. So for those of you who may not know, I was doing it when the first season or so, I was doing almost an hour, and people were telling me that that was a little bit too long for them to actually watch, so they weren't doing a lot of watching as we got past a certain point. Plus, I also know that as everybody does, you want to go to your favorite part. So I am looking into what I need to do to kind of put indexes on there, so that way you can be like, well, I just want to see, about the spirit time, and you can click on it, and it'll take you right to that part of the show. That way you don't have to watch the whole show, even though I recommend you watching the whole show. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, or concerns, please feel free to drop me a message here on YouTube on my channel, Javier In The Air, not on the air, in the air. And my YouTube handle is Javier In The Air 01. You can also reach me on Facebook, Instagram, and phone, text, smoke signals, semaphore, Western Union. However you know how to get a hold of me and you want to send me something, please get a hold of me and send me something. If you have a mom and pop organization, business in my area, or not even in my area, but like to be on the show, reach out and let me know, and I can schedule either a time where I'll go out and see you, or a Zoom call so that we can record it and get it on the show. We are heading into the very hot months, so I'm going to try to get out to some other breweries with either just by myself or some friends, or myself and brother Rob and friends. It just really depends on the situation. I will be going out to outside of Philadelphia in August. Yes, I know. In August, and there is a couple of breweries that I need to go see that I've been wanting to see for a while. So hopefully I'll be able to get out there and see them prior to my nephew's wedding. Okay, so that's it for the show. If you'd like to see anything on the show, please let me know, and I will see what I can do to get on the show. Otherwise, stay cool, hydrate. I can't signify that enough. I can't comment enough. I can't say enough. Stay hydrated, please, especially if you're going to go outside and do any work, especially if you work outside. And no matter what somebody tells you, if you are working outside, take a water break. I don't give up if you are going against anybody's wishes. Take a water break. Get a wet towel, put it on the back of your neck, anything to make sure that you stay hydrated and don't get heat stroke. All right, so have a good rest of your week, and I will see you all again next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.